show how things are what they are. But I don't see any proof.
Okay. I was actually considering discussing his view of truth in the lecture. It's really interesting. So, you've got a hammer, because you've always got a hammer if you're talking about Heidegger. And what you expect is that when you go up to the wall, put the nail there and start hammering, the nail will go into the wall. If what you're holding is a stick with a hologram of a head on top, and you hammer, and it goes straight through the nail, there is something false about what just happened. Your view about the world turned out not to be true. So it's this sort of things not working as they're supposed to is pretty fundamental. And from that, with this analysis of discourse and interpretation, what discourse and interpretation are supposed to do is help other people to understand, to share an understanding. So if I say to you, hammers can be used to nail things, and you say, okay, you take an hammer and you nail things with it, that was a true statement, because it led to you understanding things correctly. If I said to you, hammers can be used to play beautiful music, and you then attempted to play beautiful music on a hammer, and it just didn't work, the just didn't workness of that would be its falsity. The reason it is false is because it didn't work. So you get progressively more formal as you add more layers of interpretation. If I'm talking about an abstract structure, like if I'm talking about mathematics, and I say to you, this particular sentence is true, then you expect when you follow all the other rules not to find any contradictions. And if that doesn't work, then there was something false about it. So you can get to what he calls the correspondence theory of truth, the idea that truth is when a sentences have relationships with objects in the world, and when the relationships the sentence implies are actually there, then things are true. You can get to that as an interpretation, if necessary. But what it fundamentally is, truth and falsity, is workingness or not workingness. It is being able to understand and interact in the world, or not. I feel like I'm not quite answering your question. What were the implications that you wanted to talk about?
It was essentially where's the ultimate value in this? How is it true?
Okay.
Why do we care?
Totally. So, if I apply man as a rational animal theory to everyday life, then people don't really act rational. Oh, animals seem to do some rational things. Whatever. Be like, this theory is not working. I'm getting results I should not be getting. I do things based on this assumption that turn out to not have the effects I intended them to. And that is the sense in which the claim man is a rational animal is not true. If Heidegger is true, if what he is saying is true, then when I act in the world, assuming that Heidegger is true, things will work correctly. I will get the results that I expect. I will look at things, and they will match up with my mental image. That's a really President Hand way of talking about it, but you know what I mean. The structure of the world will be what it should be, according to this theory. So that's the way. So when I say that interpretations are not false, what I mean by that is that they can have their use, that they can be true in their limited domain. Science is true in the sense that its conclusions, when you look at only the right hand, only the present at hand, pan out. But if I interact with things as present at hand and expect certain present at hand results, I in fact get those results. The way it's not true is when I look at things and expect to see them as atoms floating around, or as even just metal and wood. I find that is not in fact how I see the world, and that is the sense in which it is false. So yeah, that's what Heidegger's idea of truth and falsity is. Anything else?
when you say that this work was about an interpretation of the being of Dasein, and not, it seems like, at least so far, we haven't seen being itself as an abstract thing, but rather we're looking at this from our human being. And
Right.
I'll finish. It seems like then when we're talking about coming from that place, we're kind of implying that there is an actual world, but we can only see it from ourselves. Our being. This is what we can, unless there's some objective analysis of the world that is actual. But I guess I'm saying if there is an actual world, it's implied by the fact that we are still stuck in ourselves and subjective human, whatever. Then why not concern ourselves fundamentally with knowing that actual world? Why do we want to be so stuck within our subjective relative thought?
Because we can't do otherwise. We can study the objective world, if such a thing exists, which we all think it does, I assume, in this room, including myself. We can study that, and that is meaningful, but it must go through the structure of Dasein. The desire to understand the objective world is a Dasein sort of thing. The world, the universe is his term for the physical universe, and the world is specifically this world of, okay, so I'm going to just use the term universe. If the universe is approximately the way scientists see it, then there's no such thing as a tree. What a tree is a certain collection of atoms that could take any number of forms, that it's going to be pretty difficult to delineate exactly what types of atom patterns make a tree. And the only reason you'd want to do that is if you already had the idea of a tree in the first place. There's not going to be anything fundamental in the physics that's going to say this is a tree. So, to claim that, we, as Dasein, as human animals on the planet Earth, arose through some physical processes, there may well, and in fact, I believe there is a sense in which that's true. The sense in the present-at-hand sense, specifically. But to even ask that question, to even talk about humans as a distinct thing, to even talk about anything as a distinct thing, to even talk requires Dasein. And so it's going to be distorted unless you start by understanding Dasein. I don't think, although I wouldn't bet my life on this, but I don't think Heidegger would be opposed to investigations of that sort. He would think that they need to come after we all understand being in time. Then we can do things like try to understand the objective history of the world. But that's, or the objective makeup of things or whatever. That's fine. But first we need to understand what he writes about being in time. And then we can do all that. I think that's what he says.
So this is sort of a weird question, but what's the difference between the ready at hand that you see in a Dasein of a person, and what's the between that and the ready at hand that appears to be present in animals, like a rabbit will understand what a carrot is, and when it's hungry it'll go back to the carrot patch and steal the carrots. It clearly understands that there is a use value for this.
Heidegger ignores animals completely. He has nothing to say about animals. I would claim that animals have at least some of the structure of Dasein. Wouldn't know exactly how I would detail that claim because I haven't thought about it and Heidegger has nothing to say about it. Sorry, I can't do any better than that.